Welcome back to Walsall Fan TV and listeners to the Join the Pain podcast, which has just launched on the TalkSport network. So thanks for listening, everybody. Right then, before we get all the excitement and Walsall actually name a new manager, we're looking at what's gone on with the fan experience. We did have some people in trying to improve that, but it doesn't seem to have made much difference. Brian Miles from the NoFo Brewery, he posted on Twitter asking for comment on what Walsall could do better. Needless to say, he got a lot of responses, over 100 in fact. There was some criticism of the directors, which is a common theme, and I think given we've endured more pain in the last 10 years than joy, significantly more pain and very little joy in fairness, so that is understandable. A lot saying it's stale now. The main people at the helm, other than the Travella boys, have been there for a long time and hasn't been a particularly fruitful spell for them. We're also going to cover the fan experience and the youth team and youth team development and that. So we're going to cover that. One thing that was asked for, which was good, was an increase in outreach. And Travella have touched on that. They want to be part of the community. So getting involved in the outreach. I have an idea for that, actually. Walsall Outreach are an area that we're looking to help. Obviously, the Walsall Foundation, Adam Davey as well. They're doing a lot of good stuff. So, what we're aiming to do next season, with the help of Maz at Cleaning for Class, is having some samosa Saturdays. I want to have a word with the club and maybe might even take that into the ground if we get approval. But other than that, it will be outside the ground or roundabout by the ground. But that would be good. So that's something we want to do. A big thing is, and one of the comments was, get the place rocking before the kickoff. Well, we will talk about the general fan experience behind the scenes, the food and all that. But cheaper food and drinks might get people in earlier and ultimately bring in more money. Making £1 a pint or might be better than making £2 a pint if you sell a lot more and getting people in before the match. And having something to get them in there before the match earlier. Better quality food, as we say. And particularly after the game, everything's closed. As soon as the final whistle goes, everything's closed. Get out the stadium. Well, surely people are going to want to talk about the game and have a post-match point, perhaps. So I think that's a big area that Walsall are missing out on that could bring some extra revenue. Of course, you need the entertainment alongside that. I have an idea before the game. How about, obviously we'll have to go through the correct processes and people have to apply for this. But people who'd like a trial at Walsall, maybe, how about having a face-off almost with one of the young players who were not involved in the match day, and have sort of like sprinting challenges, heading challenges, and beat the keeper challenges and that kind of stuff. And if they beat the youngster, they get an official trial with Walsall. That sort of creates a bit of fun, I think, before the match, or maybe a half-time entertainment, perhaps. That's just one thing. The PA system. That's something that's been mentioned by a few. They need to get the rigging up there to get up to the speakers, but it is a bit crackly, and we do struggle to hear what's actually going on. The new announcer is good, but we just want to hear him. But getting the place rocking before the game is a big one. There's been a gripe on disabled parking. But the parking round the ground, the season pass has gone up from 60 quid to 100 quid. Now, that's not going to bring in a lot of income by doing that. But it's certainly annoying a fair few. So maybe that's something they might want to do a bit of a U-turn on. But of course, the key thing is entertainment on the pitch, and no more hoofball. That is the thing. The historic way with Walsall is good passing football, good entertaining football, and we want that back. So, in line with Ben Boycott's statement, we are hoping that more attacking football and more stylish football is going to be coming our way with the American-style entertainment. They are known for their entertainment, Americans, aren't they? So let's see what we can do with that. Just coming on to the food side of things. A great comment from Matt Vale on Twitter. Just do the simple things better. Food, drink, merchandise, pricing, customer service, approachability. That is something that Walsall often get wrong. Last match of the season, myself and Stephen went down to get a burger. But the queue was horrendous. It was going to take all the time that half time was on to get served. It's just ridiculous. And then somebody advised us that they'd run out of pies or something like that. How can Walsall so often get this wrong? It doesn't make sense, really. It doesn't make sense. Fewer queues. The system they have at McDonald's, I think you order your food and then have a different collection point. Maybe that's something that could work. And of course, people who have a pie at half time quite often know they're going to be doing that. So can they perhaps order the pie and then just collect it at half time? Have like a collection point? That's something else that definitely worth a look. Cleaner toilets. This gets mentioned all the time. The toilets in the main stand, in the main Poundland stand, is it echoes back to a previous period, I think, and a little bit of a smarten and tidy up there and regular checks. There's no soap to wash your hands, and the heater is not a heater. There's no heating element in it, I don't think. So these kind of things that are not expensive to fix, but will be good for public opinion and fan opinion. Safe standing for home fans is one that's been raised. Home fans behind both goals. Now, I like this next one. Incentives for having a season ticket. Obviously, we get the reduced price for the games, if you're at every game, of course. But when you're in the stadium, if you showed your season ticket and got 20% off food, or 20% off drinks, perhaps, that would encourage people to have a season ticket, wouldn't it? That's an additional benefit to customer loyalty. All these, everywhere has customer loyalty cards, don't they? And for Walsall, once you've got your season ticket, that's the end of any benefits. That's what seems to be the case. So I think even the club shop, like discounting the club shop. In years gone by, you used to have vouchers, like the first League Cup game. You get a free ticket for that, and you have vouchers for different things. But that seems to have gone. The rewarding for loyalty has gone. So that would be something to be good to come back to. One thing that is... I had one guy who mentioned beer lines, so we had to send back a pint. So after queuing for 10 minutes to get a pint, he sent it back because it wasn't right. So that kind of thing, professional club, that should not be happening. That's terrible, and that's the management of the club that are allowing things, the simple things, to not be done right. And as coming back to Matt Vale's comment, really. Just do the simple things better. The price of the drinks at times, the price of the drinks are always very expensive. And someone compared it to being more expensive than in the middle of Birmingham. So that doesn't make sense either. As I say, reducing the price, people might have 3 rather than 2, perhaps. Right then, development squad-wise, a big frustration for Walsall. For the last several years, Walsall haven't had an under-23 side, haven't had a reserve team. So if you've got youth players looking to develop, such as Ronan Mayer, for example, he's got nowhere to go. He's playing with the under-18s, or he's going into the first team, and his first team options were reduced, or pretty much very minimal. If we had a reserve team, some of the youth team, some of the players returning from injury, rather than the likes of Josh Labadie going straight back into the first team after an ACL, that's the reserve team games. That's where they build up their fitness rather than going straight into the first team. So that absolutely needs to be reinstated in short order. The last couple of managers haven't really been interested in the youth team and the development of players, which needs to change. But I think from Ben Boycott's statement, that is likely to improve, and the development of players is going to come forward again. Comment from Craig Coyne is an interesting one. Given that we're sandwiched between some big clubs, really, Villa and Wolves in the Premier League and Blues and Albion in the Championship, when they release players, we should have first dibs on them almost, and they could sort of help to form part of our under-23 team and may support the first team as well. Obviously, Coventry, Leicester are pretty close as well. So why is it that we just don't have a connection with these teams? We've got Louis Barry, went to Salford, went to Swindon, but he's just down the road from us at the Villa. So why didn't he come to Walsall? He's terrorised us for 2 seasons running. And that again and again. We have had a few local players come on loan previously, but I mean, not many, particularly the last few years. Tyreek Wright, we had him, of course, and he did okay for us, but then the year after, he was at Swindon. So, not sure what's gone on with that. So, do we scrap the youth team and just get released players from Premier League clubs and Championship clubs? Or do we back the youth and bring youth players through? Of course, bringing youth players through into the first team, the supporters have a great affinity with players that are our own, as it were. So that's good. Get that in. And of course, some big sell-on fees if they go on to good stuff. So developing players works, but I think probably a mix of that and grabbing the release players from local clubs is probably a good way to go, really. Right then, what do you think? There was some very good comments there. Walsall, we need to do things a lot better. A lot better. It's simple stuff that's going wrong. Being able to serve customers with a smile. The American, that'll do nicely, have a nice day kind of thing. We definitely need to do much better in that arena. But Walsall Fan TV, we are here to share the joy and the pain. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with an announcement of the new manager very soon, I hope. Cheers.